You're here. Sonore hoped you would come quickly.
Arkan, I wasn't expecting to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you. I am glad to have returned. With something useful, I hope.
Sonore didn't tell me you'd be here. You caught me off guard.
I'm sure it slipped her mind. She has been speaking to some other Voss about something, and she has seemed unsettled.
You have arrived. Good. I have been waiting to show you this. When we first uncovered the existence of Darth Null, I could not imagine that tracing the origins of one of her relics would lead here. The strange ruins Arkan found on the planet in wild space. They were resistant to his presence for a reason.
But together we found something.
What you are about to see. Darth Null possessed a talent that was unique among her kind. Through the Force, she could connect her mind to another's. Darth Null could speak to someone's most hidden desires, reach depths of their thoughts they could not reach themselves. Over great distances, she could mentally bond with anyone who could feel the Force. In those who did not recognize their own abilities, she awakened that realization.
Sharing this knowledge was unacceptable to those around Darth Null. She was ostracized, friendless.
Darth Null took those who would follow her to an empty world in wild space, where they could do as they pleased, without judgment. Null taught her disciples how to forge mental bonds as she did. They called out to others and invited them to their sanctuary.
But Darth Null was careless. She made contact with someone she shouldn't have. The Sith Emperor, as he was then. He took advantage of her mistake. He ruthlessly pursued her.
Before the Emperor could reach her followers, Null locked many of their secrets away in the ruins Arkan found. Null and the others fought back against their captors, but their fate was sealed. The Emperor dominated the minds of her disciples, bent them to his will, enslaved them. After that day, Null's followers became servants of the Emperor, and she became Darth Null.
If the Emperor made her Darth Null after she was captured, who was she before?
She was no one. At least, not after she was expelled from the Jedi Order.
How can we claim to be defenders of peace if we so readily abandon our own to such a fate?
I do not have much to say about how the Jedi conduct themselves. Voss also live by rules that many outsiders consider inflexible. The account of Darth Null's removal from the Jedi is told from her own perspective. We do not know much about what transpired before that, other than what she was called, Master Renaya.
We've been chasing a Sith inventor, but she had a whole other life before that. What if that's where we find the way to stop Malgus's plans?
Then we will find it. Malgus could not keep this knowledge from you. We can find other secrets.
All that you found about Darth Null, why did I have to come to Voss to hear it?
After I heeded the Three's request to return to Voss, I heard whisperings. Rumors of a vision that caused great concern among the mystics. The Three forbade them to speak about what was seen. A revelation centered on Darth Malgus.
You brought me here to find out more about the vision.
I brought you here to try. The Three know well the value you would place on hearing the details of this vision, but they would never share them with an outsider, even one of your status, unless you gave them a reason to.
Can't you ask them about the vision?
They would not reveal it to me. But there is another way. Despite our best efforts, some of our most sacred temples have yet to be rebuilt in the years since Valen's assault. The Shrine of Contemplation is too deep within Gormak lands The work is slow, even with aid from the few Gormak who have chosen to continue their alliance with the Voss. The three are overseeing progress at the Shrine of Contemplation now. If you were to approach them and offer your assistance, perhaps you will change their minds about the vision. With luck, they will be receptive to one with your gracious reputation.
What should I do if I want to make a memorable impression?
Be conscious of the struggles of Voss. Be considerate of our views. Little else is needed.
I'd like to speak with you for a moment, before you depart.
Here are the coordinates for the Shrine of Contemplation. I will send a message ahead to the commandos there to expect your arrival.
You wanted to speak to me about something.
All this talk of visions, it reminded me. Something strange happened while I was away. As I searched Darth Maul's ruins, every step I took felt so familiar. Like I had been there before.
Darth Maul was captured from that place by the Emperor. Did your father, when he was Valkorian, did he ever return there?
If he had, he would have never allowed me to accompany him. Something I'm grateful for now. It was confusing, distressingly so. I was so certain I had stood on the surface of that empty world, even though I could not remember when or why. I spoke with Sonore about this sense of familiarity. It didn't take long before she understood what I was feeling. I was there, in those ruins, once before, during the ritual in the Shrine of Healing.
How is that possible?
I am unsure. This realization awakened other memories of what I saw while the Voss healed me. I believed they were dreams at the time, but Sonore believes otherwise. She says they were visions.
Visions of the future? Like the Voss mystics who performed your healing ritual?
Yes, the very same. In the ritual, the mystics infuse part of their spirit with yours. It is not uncommon for a mystic's gifts to be shared with the one they are cleansing. They open my mind to unreachable distances. The past. What may happen. What never will. In truth, it is all still a blur. It was as if I lived decades in the span of hours. I saw centuries worth of horrors committed by my father. I felt the rage and the cruelty born of my desperation to please him. The suffering and the devastation I caused, it was all made plain to me. When I learned what my father had done in Darth Maul's ruins, old fears resurfaced. I was afraid I saw those ruins because I was doomed to follow in his footsteps. But there were visions of hope as well, of serving a greater purpose. I saw the work I could do, how I could dedicate myself to atonement. Like helping you stop Darth Malgus. Reliving that vision, it reminded me that I have far to go before I can be forgiven for all that I inflicted upon others. If that is even possible. But I am moving in the right direction.
We can't know for certain when the things you've done will fade from memory, but you shouldn't give up. It will be difficult, but any journey worth undertaking is.
You're right. I have fought so many battles in my life. Only now I have found something worth fighting for. I don't think I could have ever seen things in this light without your help. There will never be enough I can do to thank you.
It is time. The three have asked you to appear before them. Your actions have left an impression, a rare achievement. They are waiting for you now.
Why did the three call you here? What did they want to talk to you about?
A question I have delayed answering for too long.
What are you talking about?
When the Eternal Empire threatened the galaxy, my presence in your alliance was understandable. But much has changed. The Outsiders' wars no longer concern Voss. We have our own struggles. The three want to know why I do not return and continue my duties as a mystic. After I joined the Alliance, I no longer had access to interpreters who could derive meaning from my visions. For the first time, my actions were determined by my own decisions, and a Voss who chooses to remain with outsiders is a Voss who is forever looked upon with doubt.
I had no idea you chose us over your own people. That must have been difficult. But I'm glad you stayed.
It was a simple choice. You have given me the opportunity to lead, to help others face uncertainty. That is a greater purpose than I ever found as a mystic. I have kept you too long. The three will be wondering what has delayed you.
Outsider, do you understand the importance of this meeting?
From everything I've heard, this honor is rare for my kind. I'm grateful for it.
Your insight does you credit. I believe you are worthy of the knowledge we plan to share. There has been a vision. Its contents are disturbing.
Life will be reshaped. Scales unbalanced.
A wave of change rises and falls, beyond the reach of Darth Malgus.
And as he dreams, he awakens a great power, one that will tear the galaxy apart.
If you know all that, you must know a way to help me stop Malgus.
It is not so simple.
Should Darth Malgus perish, this catastrophe will transpire more quickly.
Haven't your people had other visions of disasters? What makes this one so different?
You are familiar with the visions experienced by our mystics. The role these prophecies play.
What your mystics see is very important to your people. Your government, your societal rules, everything relies on these visions.
And from these revelations, the interpreters show us the path, the decisions we must make to preserve our home, our way of life.
But in this vision, we see no outcome. There is nothing to guide us. The interpreters are united in its meaning.
The three, the Voss. We can do nothing. We are powerless.
This shrouded prophecy will come to pass. The foundations will be shaken, the pillars raised. The chaos is unavoidable. But whatever is to come from this, it is you who will choose the fate of us all.
Our destiny is in the hands of an outsider. Do you see why we shield our people from this?
Calm your fears. I will do everything in my power to protect Voss from what you've seen. You have my word, as a sworn defender of peace.
a grand assurance. We will hope it amounts to more than that.
Whatever part you play in this, enemy or ally, none of it will happen without you. You must be ready. We will be waiting.